It is Saturday, February 27th, and it's currently 4:26 a.m. I'd love to tell you that I'm getting an early start to my day, but no, I'm getting ready to go to bed. Could this possibly still be jet lag? I don't think it is. I think it's just me not being disciplined and going to sleep when I know I should. I had every opportunity to be in bed before midnight last night, and I was tired. But then I had an opportunity to hang out with my daughter Megan after she got off work. She invited me to watch the first episode of Fuller House with her. I didn't necessarily enjoy the first episode of Fuller House, but I definitely enjoyed the fact that I had some time with Megan. After that, I wanted to finish watching a video episode of the Ask Gary V show. In that episode, Gary referred to some criticism he got from his previous episode, which was an interview with Seth Godin. So I went ahead and checked out the interview with Seth Godin, and it was 40 minutes long. While I was watching/listening to that episode, I decided to do something on my computer down in my office, and one thing led to another, and here I am at 4:30. But now I'm going to bed, and then I'll get up again later and officially start this day. The other day, somebody had commented to me in a private snap saying that I hope you always keep the real and authentic approach to Snapchat. I responded and told him, I said, well, I've been being the real me ever since social media was invented. I got to sleep about 5 o'clock this morning, and it's now 9:30 a.m. And that right there is preventing me from going back to sleep. That's why I love sharing my life on social media. Thank you, Addie, for the great advice. It is now 11:40 a.m. I never did go back to sleep. My mind started firing on all cylinders, and I got up and got ready. I was reminded that this afternoon, our family, minus McKenna, is going to see a movie. What are we seeing today? We're seeing Deadpool. And McKenna's going to be at her Odyssey program at school, and she's not a huge fan of movies. Although McKenna really did enjoy that movie last night, Eddie the Eagle. I also had a huge breakthrough in my thought process about Podcast Answer Man, the Cliff Ravenscraft Show, and the Year of Identity. I'll talk more about that later, but now we're getting ready to leave.
Fight.
Alright, so I just got the coolest thing in the mail, my new selfie stick, although I think my family's probably going to disown me if they see me carrying this around. Yes, we're here again. Alright, so it is now 5:39 in the evening, and it has been a very awesome day so far. We dropped McKenna off at her Odyssey program, which is this school program that she's a part of, and then the rest of us went and saw Deadpool. I really didn't know very much at all about Deadpool, other than I've heard a lot of people say that they went and saw it, and I've heard nothing but good things about it. I had been warned, by my kids even, that it is rated R, but my older two, they can handle that. The thing is that my older two are high school students in a public school, and it's the same public school that I was in. And the reality is there's nothing in this movie that is anywhere near as bad as what they just have in regular conversations in high school. And in our home, Stephanie and I choose to raise our kids in an environment of freedom where they can experience stuff like this in the environment of safety that our family offers. But at the same time, I'd rather our kids have the ability to have conversation with us and experience that with us, and of course to have the conversations that follow that with our family, with Stephanie and I, rather than the kind of conversations that might come up, say, if they were to have seen this with friends at an overnight or something like that. And the cool thing is because this kind of stuff isn't forbidden, it's not outlawed in our family. I feel like it kind of takes away some of the added pressure or desire to want to see something that's forbidden. When it comes to some of the language and conversations that happen in school with the friends and stuff like that, I don't think that our kids are sucked into the, ooh, this is cool and forbidden factor that some of our kids' friends have. The reality is that in our home, our kids are not, our kids use some pretty colorful language from time to time, and we don't completely discourage it. It's certainly a different environment than how I grew up. Don't get me wrong, I don't question the way my parents raised me and what they allowed me to do or not do. I feel like I turned out pretty okay, and I'm confident that our kids will also. Anyway, I'll say this about Deadpool. I enjoyed it as much as I didn't like it. I don't know how to explain what I mean by that. Parts of it were pretty dark, and I'm like, man, why am I even watching this? But at the same time, I found it incredibly funny and entertaining and overall enjoyable. I don't believe that Deadpool is a movie that I'll ever want to see again, but it's a movie that I'm glad I saw. After the movie, we brought Matthew home. Megan had to get ready for work. We went and picked up McKenna, and 4 of us, without Matthew, had dinner together as a family at Chipotle. I'm getting ready to take McKenna to a friend's house to spend the night. Megan's at work until 9. Matthew's going to be in his room playing video games, and I'll get some alone time with Stephanie. We were supposed to do accounting today, and that didn't happen, so that'll probably happen tomorrow or Monday. Anyway, that brings you up to date with what's been going on so far today, and, well, there's still another half the day left. All right, so now it is 8:45 p.m. Stephanie just left to go pick Megan up from work, and on the way home, they're picking up some of Megan's friends who are spending the night. My question now is, how much longer do I want to make today's Snapchat story? Because I have a couple things on my mind. The first thing that's on my mind is a big decision was made today, and that is Stephanie was right, and so was Ray Edwards. I'm referring to something that I discussed in 2 episodes of Podcast Answer Man called the Year of Identity Part 1 and Part 2. If you want a little bit of a backstory, if you're relatively new to following me, that's episode number 432 and 433 of Podcast Answer Man. You can find those at podcastanswerman.com/432 and podcastanswerman.com/433. I'm not going to rehash any of the details here, but I'll just say that Stephanie and Ray were right. But then again, I think the rest of my mastermind group had a lot of valid points, and they were right in their own way as well. The decision that I've made, for those who have been following along, is that I am shutting down a podcast. The podcast that was formerly known as Pursuing a Balanced Life and recently rebranded to the Cliff Ravenscraft Show, it's coming to an end. And the Podcast Answer Man podcast, it's getting merged with the Cliff Ravenscraft Show. My thinking at this moment in time is that moving forward, it will be called the Podcast Answer Man, also known as the Cliff Ravenscraft Show. I know that sounds super cheesy at this moment in time. It could change, but at least for now, I'm pretty sure that's what I'm going to move forward with. One thing that I'm fairly confident in is that when it comes to solo podcasts, I only want to do one of them each week. If you want to learn more about this decision and all of my thoughts that led up to it and why I'm doing all of this, well, I'll be sharing all of that in the very next episode of the Podcast Answer Man, also known as the Cliff Ravenscraft Show, episode 439. I plan to record that sometime within the next couple days, and it will be released this coming Friday, which is Friday, March 4th. So yeah, I'm really excited about this. Super excited, actually. I'm not even displaying all the excitement, but I'm pretty darn excited. The next thing that's on my mind is this Snapchat story. Today, I got a new selfie stick in the mail. The selfie stick has an included Bluetooth wireless remote control that allows me to wirelessly start and stop these videos. And yes, I already know what you're thinking. And you're asking, where did you get it and which one did you get? You can find the one that I have at podcastanswerman.com/selfie stick. And selfie is with an IE. podcastanswerman.com/selfie stick. One word. Of course, I just now discovered that when I have my Bluetooth remote that comes with a selfie stick connected, my keyboard doesn't pull up on the phone. Basically, what I did is I opened up the Notes app, disconnected the Bluetooth remote, typed in podcastanswerman.com/selfie stick. I then came back to Snapchat, connected the Bluetooth remote, and then recorded my, URL video, and then I had to click on the text icon, and then I had to use the paste functionality to paste in the URL that I had typed. Technology. Anyway, with this selfie stick, I'm tempted to try something that Father Roderick has been doing, but I almost think it's a bad idea. The idea is that I'm tempted to try to do a full day of a Snapchat story in horizontal video mode. The reality is that when I publish this to YouTube and if I share it on Facebook after the fact, landscape mode or horizontal video actually looks a whole lot better and more visually appealing. The problem is that this is all originating here on the Snapchat platform. I have 3 or 4 friends that I follow that occasionally do or always do landscape/horizontal video. And here on Snapchat, I kind of find it a little bit of an annoyance, especially when I flip the phone one way and I watch a couple snaps, and then for some reason their phone is flipped the other way on the next snap. You figure I'm normally holding my phone like this, but then I've got to hold it like this, and then I have to switch it like this, and then like this, and then like this. Now, I've done some testing, and I happen to know that the main problem is when you switch from the front camera to the back camera, and I've discovered that you have to hold the phones in one certain way when you're using the front-facing camera, and then you have to hold it another way for the back camera, so that you can make sure that when people are watching your Snapchat story, they don't have to keep flipping back and forth. I've discovered how to fix that for myself. However, I'm still a little concerned about going to horizontal/landscape Snapchat stories, and I think there are 2 or 3 other reasons. Let's see, number 1 would be that filters, the geolocation filters, those are typically formatted for vertical video format because that's the Snapchat default format. However, the time and speed and all those other built-in filters into Snapchat, those actually do transition over to landscape mode. A second reason why I'm hesitant to go to landscape mode is that I find that when I'm using the front-facing camera and I'm in landscape mode, I have a really difficult time not looking at the center of the screen. Even though I know where the dot is and looking at the dot like I am now, and by dot I mean the dot which is the camera on the front of the phone, but when I'm in landscape mode, my eyes are drawn to the center of the screen and it's difficult to look at the dot. But then there's a third reason why I'm hesitant to go to landscape mode. I'm afraid that probably half of my community will end up trying horizontal videos as well. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to be just like you guys, flipping, 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 flipping. Yeah, there's no doubt horizontal/landscape video would look a whole lot better on my YouTube channel. It would look a whole lot better when I post them to Facebook if I choose to do so. But then I am kind of cheating on the native format and platform that is Snapchat. So I'm going to ask you, what do you think? Should I try an entire day of landscape/horizontal video snapping? Just do me a favor, send it as a private snap in text form. Yes, Cliff, go with landscape, or no, Cliff, stick with vertical. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the longest Snapchat story I think I've had so far. I look forward to hearing from you guys and your thoughts on vertical/landscape/horizontal, and we'll see how things go tomorrow or Monday. Until next time, my friends, I encourage you to take everything that you're doing in life to the next level.